Hello and welcome to The Common Legend, where legends are more common than you may think. Tonight, my guest is Gerry Garcia. Not the one you might be thinking about, right? Do you get that off?
Oh yeah, all the time.
I bet. I was
All
about
the
to
time.
say, like,
It's an accident. My full first name is Geraldo. It's Gerald in English.
I'm sorry, say that one more time. Geraldo?
Geraldo.
Geraldo.
It's Gerald in English.
How do you spell that?
Geraldo. It's Gerald with an O.
Okay. All right, Gerry, so how you doing today, man?
Pretty good, man. I'd say it's not a bad day. Every day is a good day being alive, right?
I mean, not really. Historically, no.
Historically, no. Yeah, right. We're trying to stay chipper here, buddy.
Are we, though?
Yeah, I am.
I think
I gotta
you've
stay chipper
misread.
for the rest of people. I'm a happy-go-lucky person for the most part. I like to keep the energy high for people. We could all sit and dwell in our problems in life, man. I always look at the cup half full or half empty. People that are viewing it half empty are the people that are unsatisfied with what's in the cup, right?
Yeah.
Be happy with one of my sayings is cup is half full, and also I get a cup to drink from.
So it's like really touching on like gratitude, gratefulness, appreciation, you know,
Absolutely.
being mindful. It's kind of very DBT.
Yeah, we only get so much time, like we were talking
We only
earlier,
get
man.
so
we
much
only get, we
fucking
only get so much
time,
time here,
man.
man.
Yeah.
You can be dead in a
Everyone's
few
gonna-
more years, bro. Death is coming for us all. Live it up while you
If
can.
I'm so lucky.
Right, exactly. Right.
Yeah, it's
none
not-
of us are living forever, man. So live it
it's
up while you can.
like it's like the old Latin saying, you know, memento mori. Are you familiar? We all die.
Yep.
So it was a Greek term that people used to remind themselves that nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
Even your
Live life to
suffering,
the fullest, man.
your
Live life
joyness.
to the fullest, bro.
Yeah.
Live like you're gonna die tomorrow. That's how I
Amen.
like to live,
Yeah.
and smile like you ain't been hurt.
Yeah.
Smile like today's your last day, bro. If it was your last day, you'd be smiling a lot more,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
So-
maybe.
I guarantee you would, because
Might be crying a little more.
Oh yeah, but so there's certain things you think about. Being able to see for your last time, it'll make you think a little
sure.
bit more.
Keeps life in perspective.
It keeps life
Yep.
in perspective, man. And being able to see family, friends. I'm a nature person, man. Going out in the wild and experiencing nature for what it is. Like I don't think I could live without that, right? And being on the other side, I think we only get this opportunity once, right? Live it up while we can.
Yeah.
Right. So.
I like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
I love that.
Absolutely.
So, Gerry, where are you from, man?
So I'm from Minneapolis. I grew up in Anchorage for quite a few years, Alaska. Kind of back and forth. So I was born here, HCMC, and then less than 6 months, my parents had split up. My mom, one of her sisters, her husband was in the military, Air Force.
So they were stationed there? Okay.
So my mom went up to visit, fell in love, never left. Right.
Yeah.
Well, she left probably 16 years ago now. She lives in Mesa now.
Mesa,
Arizona.
Okay.
Just better weather down there, and
Arizona?
yeah, definitely. She got
Better?
my mom's got knee surgery stuff that happened, pins
Okay.
and stuff in her knees.
So it's
right?
better than the cold.
Oh yeah, the cold was so hard on her
Okay.
ankle and knee and stuff like that. So
But
really
you can
bad
find
car accident.
egg on the sidewalk in Arizona. I've
She
seen
loves
people
it.
like their souls are melting when they're walking up.
But it's the same like here. Like people don't go outside in the cold season here, right? We try to stay indoors.
Right.
Same thing there in the hot season. Everybody
stay
stays
inside,
inside. Yep.
yeah.
She got a pool by her house. At her house. So
Okay.
go swim poolside. I've sat outside at her house like 114, 116 by poolside. Fine.
Fucking wild.
I love it out
It's
there.
fucking wild.
Yeah,
Fuck
dude, I
that.
love
As a
that
fat fucking boy,
I'm
fuck
Hispanic,
that.
man, so I love
yeah,
that.
that's right.
Yeah, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that drive
All
heat, man.
So when did you move from Anchorage to here?
So I grew up in Anchorage, so I was about 15, and being a fucking shitty little teenager, smoking weed,
Most of us were.
and being mischievous. My mom's like, "Why don't you go and move with your dad?" And so,
And Dad lives here?
Yep. And,
Okay.
it was definitely hard on the family. I'm sure. I moved in. He already had 4 kids living in the house. My mom had 2, so it's
Oh,
definitely
shit. Full house.
Yeah, full house already. But yeah, I moved here like right before my 15th birthday, and started high school here. I actually went to high school for like a quarter, like Diamond High in Anchorage.
Okay.
I ended up moving here. I went till like
Washburn?
sophomore year. Yeah, I went to Washburn.
Yeah.
For like sophomore year, but then
Yeah.
I dropped out of Washburn. I went to an alternative school.
Okay.
To Minneapolis Urban League Street Academy. It's like all minority students,
Dude,
bro.
I stand
It's wild.
alternatives girl.
Yeah. No, I loved my alternatives. Dude,
Yeah.
I graduated B honor roll from my
Filling out packets.
yeah, pretty much packets and
dude.
working from books.
Hell
right?
yeah. I got my degree from packets.
Yeah, like, working, I get my shit done. The teachers wouldn't fuck with me. They used to call me sleepy in high school because I fucking do all my work and I fall asleep, bro. I worked full time, right? Like,
okay.
At like 15, I got a job. I was working at Jimmy John's.
Okay.
And,
no way. I used to work at Jimmy John's too.
Really?
Did you deliver? What do you?
No, I was manager, man.
Oh, really?
Highland.
Okay, Eden Prairie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to slice those deli meats.
Yeah, bro. Batting bags out. Fucking everybody knew you could come get a fucking bag out of fucking Jimmy John's, bro.
Oh my God, I hooked so many people up.
99 to like 2003, I worked there. Graduated in 2003.
Okay.
But, yeah, I graduated being on a roll from Minneapolis Urban League, and then tried to go to college for a little bit. I went to Minnesota School of Business.
Okay.
Tried to go for massage therapy, actually.
Okay.
And then just realized I didn't want to fucking do it.
Yeah.
It's a hard career for men to get into. Standing, hunching over somebody for hours a day, working with your hands. There's a lot, man.
That's weird. I actually went to school or attempted to also for
funny,
massage therapy.
Dude, that's hilarious.
And dropped out for the exact same fucking reason. I was like, wow, this is a lot more work.
Dude.
I'm gonna just save this for the people I love.
Right?
It's a treat.
Right? Exactly. Yep. That's where I went. And I got back. I've been doing construction since like 14, like learning handyman shit. I first probably learned projects from my cousin Theotis. Shout out Theotis. And then, my neighbor, my mom's neighbor, Randy, this like Serbian dude. I like used to work with him during the summers a lot, and getting little jobs here and there, going through school. But that was kind of where I first learned construction.
And that's what you do now, right? You're in construction.
Yeah, I'm in construction.
And that's when you started?
Pretty much at that age, and started fixing stuff and doing all sorts of odds and ends jobs and. I've done a little bit of everything in the construction field, and I've even stepped out to go get, try other careers at some point. During my high school years, I was definitely into like retail and did, the commercial or restaurant industry, right? More restaurant industry.
Fuck that industry.
Yeah, fuck, dude. It's one of the hardest industries.
It's the
There's
hardest
respect
industry.
for anybody that does.
Oh my God, you'll become an alcoholic real quick though.
Dude, and just the type of people you deal with all the time, like it is a very appreciated fucking job out there, man.
Oh my God, no appreciation.
Yeah, no appreciation at all.
Not
People
at all.
suck, dude. People suck coming through drive-throughs.
Yeah,
it's a horrible job.
And
but
what percentage of the workforce is in the service industry? Like 30-40%, like a huge amount of the population is going through this industry that just sucks.
For now, you've been in on McDonald's lately, bro.
You talk about robots? You talk about AI
getting fired, bro.
Elon
you can't
Musk.
even talk to a person anymore. I walked into a McDonald's a while back, and it's all kiosks. You got like one person that worked and handed you your food.
That's what I'm saying. They got like 3 people.
Yeah, like
even Taco Bell now, if you pull up, an AI voice asks if you've already placed an order.
Meanwhile, I stepped into places like, God, where was I? One of the burger joints, man. I cannot remember, but it was like 7 people working at once. So I was like, why you got all these people here and like 3 people come in every hour?
Yeah, right. Yeah. We can hold this down with 3 tops.
Right. Get a robot.
So you've had a couple different like job changes, but it sounds like you started your career path that you're on right now pretty early in high school.
Yeah,
so
it's always been something I've been good at. Being ADHD, man, I'm always trying to do something different, and always learning different shit, and can't sit still sometimes. So it's I'm always learning new skills, and always trying to find my place. I really struggle with trying to find, and even now it's like trying to find what I want to do. It's like I've always liked construction and working with my hands, but it's always been like grunt work a lot of times, and you got to go to college and be able to read plans and blueprints and stuff like that, and I can read blueprints a little bit now, but it's definitely I've worked my slow way up the ladder, I guess what I'd say, right? And
it's not very slow if you've been doing it since you were like 15, 16.
Yeah, but the next step is to go out and like maybe start your business or be like a foreman or like and even stuff like that. Like I don't want to sit at a desk.
Which you tried to do this last year, right? You tried to take your experience and start your own business.
Yeah, which I kind of leaped in head first. And, I had a lot of faith in what I was doing at the time because I was working with, a good friend of mine and his good friend. And long story short, I basically started, I'd left my job and started working construction. I've been doing it for years. One of the biggest things to learn is how to bid your time and what your time's worth and be able to sub out jobs, right? And I started working with a couple friends, and it's a long story, but a lot of shit didn't happen like it was supposed to. one of the guys that had landed the project basically bankrupted himself and got audited. Never got paid out on the job, and so it's kind of been picking myself up ever since then. But I'm happy that I took the leap.
So many people never take the leap.
My whole life, bro, I've never attempted to go out and work on my own. And I can say that I should have did a little bit smarter.
Well, you learned. You take exactly. Apply it next time.
Yep. And I leaped in head first because I was really, I was pretty confident. Like, dude, we landed a $140,000 job that I never got paid out on. Right.
Oh, fuck.
I was pretty confident in what I was doing at the time. That was going to line me up to start advertising for myself. I had bought my liability and workers' comp. And was doing it right. The biggest issue and my biggest holdup was probably like being able to like confidently bid my own jobs, right? And even then, it was like I still was able to find subcontracting jobs, and they pretty much just pay you what they know you're worth, right? You just have to freaking sign a dotted line, basically, right?
So when you say confidently bid your jobs, you mean like know your worth and price yourself accordingly?
Absolutely.
That's true in art too.
Dude, absolutely. Being able to go in and do a job in a set amount of time and knowing what the labor costs is that there's just a lot of aspects to it. Like everything you should know the laws to it and what code is, right? No matter what you're messing with. It's like 99% of the things in the house, you should probably know some sort of code on what it should be, right? And when it comes to like handyman stuff, I've never wanted to be just isolated in one thing. So I've never just learned one skill, right? I've worked jobs for years, like a framing for years or handyman for years, but it was always learning different things. I've never like sat down and just did one task for, 10,000 hours, like they say it takes to master something, right? And so I've always called myself, I'm jack of all trades, master of none. Right?
It's a fun way to say ADHD.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
It's a longer way. I like it too.
But yeah, man. But with that, I'm very proud of like the things that I know how to do and the skills that I do have, right? And even though I don't have my career completely lined out and mapped out right now, I'm 40. I'm still figuring it out. It sucks, right? I did a lot of fucking bullshit in my 30s and depression, and drug use, and it's one of my biggest regrets probably is how many years I fucked off being depressed and wasting my life.
You didn't fuck off, man. That wasn't your fault.
Yeah, it's generational shit. Honestly, I think it's I don't blame anybody but society.
Would you choose a different job or career if you could?
Honestly, maybe if I could sit through school better, I'd probably say like I've always been really good with people. Like I always thought about counseling and stuff like that, right? And I've always liked the medical field. My stepdad was in the medical field, but I don't think I could ever have people's lives in my hands. Right?
Yeah,
I'm just too emotional.
It's a lot of fucking pressure.
Too emotional for that.
Oh my god, yeah.
My other passion is music, but I've never been very confident in it. Like I grew up. My dad's a musician. My girlfriend's a musician.
Oh, your dad's a musician.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because I know like art and music is a huge influence on your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're like. Particularly like when I think of you, I think of like your appreciation and love for wire wrap, more of a practical art form.
Oh, absolutely. And anything that's done from hand woodworking, stuff like that. So, as a carpenter, I love working with my hands. I love any skilled trade, right? It's just beautiful to me. It's art.
Yeah. So where did your appreciation from art come from, do you think?
Honestly,
was it a family member or was it something you watched? Did you experience a piece of art that influenced you? Or
I just always had that tick in me, bro. It was, I think it kind of comes from my family, my dad being a musician. Like my cousin at a young age was already doing carpentry. So I think I seen like he was building some stuff. And I've always been like a builder. Right, my mom tells me stories about how I used to take shit apart when I was a kid.
I did that same shit.
Yeah.
I got chewed out for taking apart my washing machine.
But I make shit work again, right? Like she's like, you'd always like.
Take could do that?
Yeah,
I
she's like,
you
take something apart and make it work again. It was like something was broken, you'd like fix it, and I was like, it was just like always tinkering, right? And then like Legos were always a thing and stuff like that.
So just curious. You're almost an engineer.
Yeah, just a very curious person. So I just didn't have, the right. Direction, I guess, and being
or environment,
being 40 and not really understanding. I didn't find out until a few years ago. I called my mom and I was like, "Hey, do you remember the school like program I used to be in?" I was like, "It's called Montessori." And I was like, "Do you remember what that is?" And she was like, yeah, I remember you going to it. I was like, Mom, it was like a program for ADHD kids before they knew what ADHD kids was.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know that until now. Like, I just had figured out like a couple years ago.
Right.
I looked into it, and I was like, what is Montessori? And they're like, it's, you know, a type of learning for people with basically ADHD. And I was like,
or whatever kind of learning disability they had. They called us, for me, I went to Montessori and alternative like you.
So you already
they
know.
said we were visual learners.
Yep.
I don't know if you heard that.
Though. It is,
which is true. Show me how to do it.
Because if you know anything about learning, you learn in a couple ways, right? Audio, visual, or hands-on.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and most people learn in one of two ways, right? Grouped together. So it's like you learn either hands-on and visual, or audio and visual, hands-on and audio, right?
So for you, it was hands-on and visual?
I'm a hands-on visual person. Too, yeah. I'm a builder. To me, those are the type of people. So thousands of years we've been evolving to, you know, be a certain way. We're hunter-gatherers, bro. We're not supposed to be sitting at desks. We're not supposed, right?
We're not supposed to be in front of cameras.
And the whole system is not designed for us, bro.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's been a big struggle for me, is fitting into society. And, you know, so much of me wants to go out and just disappear in the woods and just live off the land, bro. It sounds amazing.
Sounds fucking great.
But, you know, it takes money. And then on top of that,
unfortunately,
I like a lot of things about society, man. I do like, you know, the perks of living in society sometimes and the conveniences of it. So,
well, we're social creatures, man.
Exactly, but yeah, exactly. I'm a social creature, but we're just isolating myself in the woods doesn't sound fun to me, right? And so I'm stuck in the middle here trying to make it work. And
well, you're making it work. It's best of me, man.
Everybody's struggling right now.
Everyone's struggling. Right. Like like since 2020, like everyone's struggling. Before that, most of us were struggling, and people just didn't know it. You know, like with the incline and the raise of people who needed to go to therapy and needed help, and addiction just spiraled. The amount of people that went to rehab and got committed and were in psych wards, like it took this.
Let's be honest, COVID caused a lot.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. COVID caused a spike. I don't think it caused a spike in those issues of, you know, chemical dependency, mental health issues, and stuff like that. I think it just highlighted.
Just drew them out more.
Just showed us. Oh, yeah. And now tons.
Now we can't sit and actually fucking pretend like it's not an issue. Sitting in your house for that long.
No, we can.
I have depression. Been sitting in my house for weeks. Maybe I am a little depressed. Maybe I do have a drinking problem.
Yeah, people are like, wow, okay, maybe my brain is trying to fight me.
Right.
You know, it's funny because like we're one of the only species on this planet that self-harms.
Right.
That ever even thinks about killing ourselves intentionally. Mm-hmm. There's something there to that.
Existential crisis, and it's part of the way that we're living. It's part of the way we're living nowadays. Everything is so. When you woke up in the morning. This is how I view it. We only had a couple of things that triggered our like stress hormones, right? You know, dopamine and adrenaline, right? It's only a couple chemicals that cause stress, right? It's like, where's my food? Where's my water? Where's my shelter? Am I being hunted? Now it's like, bro, you wake up, where's my fucking phone? Am I late for work? Where's my vape?
You ever done the vape shuffle?
Yeah. Oh yeah, all the time.
Where's my vape?
Right now. But, you know, it's shit like that where your brain is constantly in this fight or flight mode now, and we don't have the reward system right now. When I go to work, I don't feel satiated collecting fucking a paycheck and fucking getting money, like food that doesn't really always satiate you, right? Our food is non-nutritious these days, right?
Oh my God.
Right? It's garbage. We pick it early, so by the time it gets to our houses, it's ripened. That's when it's pulling most of its nutrients from the earth, right? So our nutritional value in our food is garbage, and, you know, we're not getting... You know, that's why I try to, even in myself, I'm bad at it, but we got to get back in touch with nature and the things that we do, exercise. And, you know, we're supposed to sit at desks. We're not supposed to, you know, be able to just get your food delivered to your door, man. You got to go out and hunt. That's where you feel good. That's where you feel satiated. That's where your happy shit comes from, right? It's hunting, gathering. You need to be out building and, you know, collecting and fucking...
doing something and then feeling the reward from what you have worked
instead of this mental game that we're playing where it's just, you know, you're playing mental game comes from fucking videos now and you know, artificial shit, nicotine and, you know, stuff that we don't need to put into our bodies in the excess that we do. And I think that's why a lot of us are as, you know, fucked up right now as we are.
I totally agree. I think that's why we've had a rise in addiction and mental health issues. We're all looking because we're trying to supplement those chemicals we get naturally.
You and Britt's conversation was talking about more, right?
I'm addicted to more. Yeah,
more. everything that you put in your body is the same chemical. Everything that makes you feel good is serotonin, dopamine, basically, right? Yep. So you can become addicted to anything: exercise, sex, fucking arguing, like all those things release dopamine. And so there's people out there I've met became addicted to everything. Anybody that tells you they don't have addiction is fucking lying.
They're fucking liars.
They're addicted to religion.
The most sober people
nicotine,
in the world,
right?
They're addicted to working out. I run every morning. Yeah. You're an addict. You're addicted to running.
Serotonin. You're
exactly.
addicted to serotonin.
Oh my God.
You do something to fucking complement your serotonin addiction every day. Instead of heroin, you do running now. Like, that's how I see it.
Thank you so much for bringing that up, because I've brought that up so many times in meetings.
Everything is addiction, bro.
Everything's addiction. We're all addicts.
It's the same chemical.
Yeah.
Nothing you put in your body is not the same chemical that you release when you're feeling good or unhappy.
And if you're not getting it naturally, how the fuck are you getting it?
Right.
Through a substance.
Or a fucking trigger, right? Like fucking...
Right, yeah.
Social media or like, instant gratification is the issue now. And everything that feels good actually is worth working for, right? It takes work. And
naturally, yeah. But like with social media specifically, like the red notification dot is that is specifically designed to give you dopamine.
Yep.
They hired psychiatrists
absolutely
and therapists, and
so I tell everybody, get back in nature and try to exercise, try to build something, try to create, right? Talk with human beings, get a hug once a day, right?
That's why I hugged you when you were like, I'm going through it. Yeah. I was like, come on, man. Like,
everybody needs a hug. They said, I think there was a study that said like 8 hugs a day or some shit. That's communal shit, right? Like, we don't live like that anymore. No, barely anybody sees 8 people a day that they like and
right,
hug,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I might see 8 coworkers, but I don't want to fucking hug all of them.
Yeah.
Right?
No, yeah, totally.
So
let alone even ask how their day's going. And like,
right?
yeah.
So shit like that. It's, we got to get back into touch with stuff like that of, being in touch with who we are as a species and how we've developed for thousands of years. We're hunter-gatherers. We're not fucking sit at desks and, hunt for our dopamine, I guess. I don't know how to explain
this topic is one that resonates so deeply with me because
me too.
Most people can see the divide between capitalism and humanity.
Absolutely.
And it's literally tearing us the fuck apart. And so what are we doing to solve these issues?
Tear me apart. I hate this shit.
We're making pills and they're selling it back to us. Yep. And so they're saying, oh, you're bipolar. You need to take this medication that we made for the rest of your life. No, I'd hypothesize that bipolar mental health issues would never exist if we just went back to the basics.
Absolutely, dude. I've struggled with depression and anxiety my whole fucking life. And I refuse to be on any kind of medications. I've been on Wellbutrin, and that shit made me angry. The thing that finally fucking saved my life, dude, was microdosing mushrooms. It's natural plant medicine. It hits the same receptors anxiety meds do, right? I think there's certain species that probably work best for others. But yeah, man, I get how brain chemistry works. The fight or flight thing that your brain does is kind of like I look at it as like a like roadway, right? When we have, like, let's say our brain has like 6 lanes of like a highway, right? When we become like OCD or like PTSD, it's like your brain is constantly taking this one route, right? Things like psilocybin create neurogenesis, which is like the opening, growing of new neural pathways, right? And so it's, to me, it's like turning that 1-lane highway into a multiple lane highway. And because adding that spike to your serotonin, dopamine, kind of puts you in an elevated mood, you're able to look at it in a more positive aspect, right? It's the cup half full, half empty scenario, right?
Yeah.
Analogy, sorry. That's kind of how I look at the mushrooms as antidepressant. Is, it's allowing your brain to kind of heal, create different pathways, put you in an elevated state, so you can, if you talk through it in therapy, you can probably look at it in a different view and understand it for what it is instead of constantly, because the way that I think the brain gets over something is either understanding it or getting past it by just like, I can't focus on that anymore. It's not relevant to me anymore. I'm over it. I can't think or put energy into it. You just kind of forget about it, right? Put it on the back burner, whatever you want to call it. It's that, or you just understand. You're like, you know what, that happened. It is what it is. I let that go, right? And that's the only way we heal from things. And so.
100%. And Britt touched on that with her plant medicine, where she talked about DMEO or the synthetic toad venom and ayahuasca.
Natural plant medicine or
plant medicine.
Animal medicine,
right.
if you want to get the 5-MeO.
The toad venom. Yeah, licking a toad.
Yeah,
that's the way I like to think of it. So, like, I was gonna ask you if you've ever struggled with depression or any mental health issues.
Absolutely, I have most of my life. I was. I don't like to put too much of my business out there, but yeah, I was
no, whatever you're not comfortable with saying, don't say it.
I was very much abused as a kid, and I had a lot of shit I went through, man. Sorry.
It's okay. You're fine.
But yeah, I think stuff that was passed on from generational trauma. Long story short, my mom got involved with a really fucking abusive dude. Used to beat her and my mom, or beat me and my mom, and it's my brother's actual father. And this is it was a tough thing to go through, and we all healed from that. But breaking down to I know my mom still holds a lot of stuff in her heart against it, right? She blames herself so much for it, but like, I forgave that such a long time ago, because I just think about the generational shit that happens. Right? I know my mom's story. I think that's a lot of things that gets missed with people. Is like, if you knew your parents' story, as much as we want to blame our parents for the shit that happened, if you knew their story or their grandparents' story, you probably wouldn't blame them as much. You're gonna blame society more. And the shit that my family had to go through. I don't want to dig too much into that, but being migrant workers, Hispanic, they're definitely taken advantage of, and especially the girls, and created a lot of trauma in my family, and that kind of gets passed on. You only learn so much. I try to express it to people that are dealing with the same kind of issues. It's like looking at it as like tools. Like, some people are gifted and born with fucking hand tools, basic tools. Some people are fucking given power tools in life, right? Don't be ashamed of the tools that you were given, right?
Just learn how to work with them.
Work with them, be accepting. This is what you were given.
This is what you have.
This is your gift, right?
Yeah.
And as much as it's not, what everybody wants, and it's not perfect, it's, I'd rather be coming from a place of like the bottom than to be on top. I don't think it's good to be born in either direction, right? Mm-hmm. Like to be born into super privilege, it's like not knowing a lot of the things that we know, the struggle of mm-hmm. life. And I don't think it's a good life to live either, right? Being rich and not having the same worries and knowing how to fit into society, because like it's a whole different path being that 1%. I can only imagine. I've never been there, right?
Yeah.
But, being poor and coming up from the hard end isn't great, but it gives you that appreciation, and
especially if you make it out and you experience the other side. I think it's the most powerful, profoundly impactful for at least me, when I was like raised in the higher of the society, and then I was kind of thrown down at the bottom. It's the people I've met who have experienced both the highs and lows of society that are the most profound, the most beautiful individuals.
They get it.
They get it.
There's no good, because there's no good spectrum, dude. There's no good end of it, because people that were born into like privilege don't learn how to deal with people well. They don't learn the same stride and worries as money as we do. They don't value things the same, right? Everything's disposable, and on the other end, I will say that I want to say there was like something about most of the millionaires in the world that came from poverty, right? So it gives you a certain appetite and a certain hunger to go out there, right?
Gives you that grind,
right? And it gives you an aspect that I don't think being sheltered most of your life will give you either. But that's not a good way to live life either, sheltered, right? Because when things really hit you, even if you're a good person down your core, you still deserve to have, fortitude and strength.
You need to experience both sides.
Right? And so, I think life's about going through trials and getting knocked down and picking yourself up. It's about how resilient you are, because, I don't care who you are. Life's going to come at you and throw you 1,000 curveballs.
If you don't think it will, boy.
Yeah. It's the people that change and make them different people and ugly people or shut off people. We were talking about this a minute ago. Like, I'm one of those people I could be negative as much as I want. I fucking had a tough life, right?
Yeah.
Like, life is tough, man.
You're allowed to be negative.
I am allowed to be negative, but I'm a pretty fucking positive person, bro.
For the most fucking part, hell yeah,
I'm a pretty go-lucky person. Yeah. I try to spread love and positivity, and still, I've been hurt, and I've been fucking kicked down, and, I don't trust people too, but I still allow people in, and I still try, and I still give people the benefit of the doubt, because that's what humanity needs, right? We all gotta fucking still try, man, even though we don't want to. Just like going to work every day. I don't want to fucking go, but I gotta go.
God damn it. You just reminded me I have to work tomorrow. And
I know, right? I wish I was working tomorrow. I'm fucking struggling. So actually, I'm doing a side project for my parents right now, remodeling their bathroom just so I can have some work to hold me over.
Yeah.
For a little bit. I'm
like,
don't pay somebody else, pay me.
Right, yeah.
I'm fucking struggling to find work right now.
So mental health issues affected you from a pretty young age. Like,
absolutely.
How old do you think you were when like you realized something's happening?
Wrong.
Yeah,
Something's, bro. Like 12 years old.
Really?
I've had like this like haunting fucking just like every time fight or flight goes on. I think you know this. We talked about this, but then like just fucking kill yourself.
Yeah.
Just be done with it. You can't do it. You suck at life.
Yeah.
You're not good enough.
You're a piece of shit.
You're a piece
no one
of
likes
shit,
you.
Right?
Yeah, you're useless.
Right?
Yeah.
Fucking just be done.
So 12?
Right? 12.
Wow.
Since 12. It's been like a haunting thing in the back of my head. Like always there, always a voice anytime anything goes wrong. Anything, anytime my life fucking just hits me. Even now I still struggle with it sometimes, right? It's just it's that voice you've always kind of been stuck, that pathway that's kind of always been carved into your brain. And I've done a really good job of avoiding it these days. And like I said, psilocybin helped me a lot. I hit a really low point in my life, and I started microdosing like regularly, and at about like 7-8 weeks, dude, I was in my kitchen. I stopped dead in my tracks and like literally broke into tears. I realized I hadn't had that thought in like probably a couple months.
What thought?
That suicidal thought that you could just be done. This shit sucks. Why are you still here? That voice.
Yeah.
Right. It's gone. Couldn't hear it. Dude, I broke out in tears. So it's like, where the
You're
fuck?
like, holy shit.
This is silence.
It's possible.
This is what peace feels like. Right?
Yeah.
I hadn't felt that.
And you didn't think that was possible
Not
before.
in my brain. Not in my brain.
So you're an advocate for like plant medicine.
Absolutely. And they saved my life, dude.
Did it?
Absolutely saved my life.
I've heard that from so many people. It saved my life too.
Couldn't shut that shit off for the life of me. And it was like, it haunted me. And I felt so broken for the longest time of just never feeling like I was going to be okay. And yeah. Time heals all, right? So, yeah, man, I'm better to be in a better place and have found that path and not have that struggle, even if it's like a glimpse of hope. It's mental health is going to be a struggle probably for a long time. It is for a lot of people, and even if I never get better, it's nice to know that I have a glimpse of hope, right? A little bit of sanity in my life.
Yeah. It's like a breath of fresh air after you've been drowning
for so long.
Yeah.
Right. And so, it gives you that hope to keep pushing through and be happy. And
Gerry, nothing's wrong with you. It's society. It's the world we live in that you are forced to deal with. You're not broken, dude. I'm speaking from experience, and I'm preaching what I need to tell myself. Yeah. You're not broken. Nothing's wrong with you, dude.
Oh, I know. Dude, the amount of self-love that I've been doing the last few years, like I'm kind of like, I feel pretty invincible these days. Like, I don't give a shit what I've came out of my fucking like shell so much, and just like expressing myself the way that I dress and the way that I present myself, the way that I speak. I don't have that filter as much anymore. It's like I actually have started to love myself.
It's fucking empowering, isn't it?
Very empowering.
Once you fucking like take it back and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna love myself.
Fortunately, it takes seeing how much damage there is in the world too, and being damaged, and how many people are just like angry, and like I feel like feeling as down on myself and being as broken as I feel, I'm like, why do I feel like a brighter light in everybody else's life a lot of times, right? Like everybody seems to like really dwell in emotions and misery sometimes, and like everybody's just so hurt and broken, and I get that, and like I feel like I'm always carrying the smile in the world. I had just recently I went and buried, didn't bury, but I spread a friend's ashes in Portland, and he passed away about a year ago. He had a bunch of health issues, and he'd been 35 this year, and he was one of those people, so just health issues, in and out the hospital, fucking seizures, pneumonia constantly. He had liver and kidney failures, constantly having dialysis, constantly missing veins. He was going blind because of it, like had surgery on both his feet, couldn't walk right, gastroparesis, everything you can think of, bro. Like super diabetic on top of it, right? And I used to tell him all the time, like, bro, there's so many people I know that like don't even have it as hard as you do. Aren't even like you're dying, and you just keep the brightest smile on
he
your
was
face
still happy, chipper.
all the time, chipper, just happy, funny, go lucky, just like the most brightest person you ever met, and you would never know that he was dying.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a hard time in my life. R.I.P. Alec, but yeah, I was there for his whole hospice care. You know, trying to show up as much as I can, and you know, helping my friend get around, and you know, his body shut down on him, and it was a pretty hard thing to watch. But he was at home with family and friends, and he just couldn't do it anymore. You know, he decided that I was, you know, he sat me down. It was like a Friday. I had just lost my cousin like a couple days ago to cancer too. My cousin a star, and yeah, he was like, dude, I'm about to stop doing my dialysis. I can't do this anymore. Even if I got a donation tomorrow, my quality of life is shit, and I just can't do it anymore. I'm gonna stop dialysis. And so he lived for about a week. I want to say a week and a half. But yeah, it was pretty hard to watch him go through that. He's fucking one of the bravest fucking men I'll ever meet in my life to go through that. Just be like, you know what, this is it for me, and then, you know, just know that your body's shutting down, and just to be at peace with it, right? And just be like, you know, this is it for me. I can't, you know, and all the people just, you know, begging him to keep trying and keep pushing, and he's just like, I can't, and you know, and then the embarrassment too of just being like, you know, dude, having to like have your own friend like help you wipe your ass and go to the bathroom and shit. He's just like constant apologies. I'm so sorry, dude. You got to do this. Like, bro, I'm fucking honored. I would do it for you in a heartbeat, bro.
Fuck, dude.
I would do it again. No fucking questions asked. So, you know, it's people like that that give me my reason for living and keep me pushing on, because, you know, he's a good fucking dude. And to see people shine like that, even though they're fucking dying, it's fucking amazing, dude. It's absolutely amazing. That dude will live in my heart forever. And be one of the fucking reasons I push on and smile.
Well, you're a good fucking dude.
Appreciate that,
to do that for a friend, like, I don't know if I have a single friend who I could say would do that for me. So like, you're a good fucking friend, dude.
Appreciate that.
What do you think gave him that power, that resound to face his illness so bravely? So what do you think? What do you think it was?
Not wanting to die in a hospital, bro, and just like not wanting to live like he was living. Like, he was an explorer. He was a person that wanted, like all of us, bro, we want to experience life, right? I don't want to be stuck in a bed. And it's like, dude, when it come to the point where like he had surgery on both his feet, couldn't walk properly, he had to walk with a cane, right? Every 2 to 3 days you got dialysis, you got to sit for 3 to 4 hours and have your blood filtered, right? Just wasn't a life for him, dude. He was in pain constantly. So he had neuropathy in his feet. He had like nerve issues because of the diabetes. Every time he'd get his freaking blood, his dialysis done, they'd miss veins, so it's super painful, right? Because of his health issues and, you know, lack of, you know, blood flow and all that other stuff, he'd get pneumonia super easy. He had multiple seizures. In the last year of his life, he was hospitalized over like 30 something times. So he was just like, dude, I don't want to die in a hospital. This is it for me. And that's why I said that conversation was like, even if I got a donation, a liver and a kidney tomorrow,
Like, I'm done.
life would suck. I'm going blind. Yeah. I got neuropathy and pain in my feet. I got gastroparesis, which means your intestinal tract has started to die down, right? So he's got fucking, you know, intestinal issues. Like, he was losing his memory on top of that, you know, memory loss from all of it. His body was getting taxed to shit. It was like he was living in like a 60-year-old man's body, right? And he was just like, bro, I can't, this isn't a life for me. I can't do it. And it was like one of the fucking bravest things I've ever seen somebody do, bro. It's just be like, I'm done with dialysis. And like, I haven't really even talked about this yet, but there was a time, like 2 days up until he passed, where he was kind of having, like, he was waking up with nightmares about, you know, what was going to happen on the other side, you know, needing comfort and stuff like that. And
just a friend.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to, and, you know, at the time his body was like, sorry.
It's okay, man. It's okay. This is fucking tough.
He was like filling up with fluids because he couldn't get the fluids out. His kidneys shut down. So, you know, he couldn't pee, and he was super uncomfortable for the last couple of his days. And it got to the point where we had to like basically like talk the nurses into coming in, and they upped his medications, like Dilaudid and some other shit, and he finally went into basically like a coma at that point, because they had him on so much medication. You know, at that point it was just, you know, keeping his mouth wet and checking on him, checking his breathing, and I was just kind of waiting for the moment. And I went home like 10 p.m. and at like 3 a.m. I got a call saying it passed. So I wasn't there, but I did spend, you know, a good amount of the week or two before he passed just there hanging out and helping out, taking care of him, moving him around and getting him up and down the stairs. For, you know, most of the time he was trying to get up and down the stairs, go to the bathroom. He was doing pretty good and, you know, making his way. But the last few days, his body was shut down so bad and filled up with fluids, just, you know, swelling up and was in a lot of pain. It was rough to watch, man. Especially, you know, yeah, dude. I only knew him for a few years, but he became like my fucking best friend. So yeah, that one hit hard. But yeah, we just celebrated his life. His birthday was on the 18th of this month. We just went out to Portland. Spread a bunch of his ashes around places that he loved.
Hell yeah.
Went to a bunch of
honor his life
places he lived at. And
Fuck yeah, man.
I made like this little jar. I like poked some holes in it, like cut out a piece of like a tin can, and I glued it over this glass jar and poked holes in it. So it's like a little shaker jar.
You literally made a Parmesan shaker out of his ashes.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, dude, that is so amazing. I fucking love the shit out of that.
I gotta show you this video, and I'm never gonna shout out the place that did it.
Okay.
So we're at this bar, and it's me and my friend Ray, who's also really good friends. Alec, right?
Okay.
And we go to check out this bar, and we're making jokes, and you know, we all partied back in the day and shit. When I'm like breaking out Alex's ashes from the jar, they're like stuck together.
You didn't do a line. Please don't tell me.
I thought about it.
Oh my god. Okay. I thought you were about to say I did a line, Alex. Okay.
So wait, the story gets better.
Okay.
But I pour him out to put him into the jar because I have like a little urn of him, right? And it's all like kind of stuck together, so I'm like chipping it up with like a knife, and I pour it out, and I start like kind of breaking it up with a card, and I like made a little line, and I was like, no. Like, I could hear Alec being like, do it, I dare you.
I wouldn't blame you.
I could hear Alec being like, do it, I dare you, and I was like, nah.
Just for the bit, right? Just for the story.
But anyway, I make this joke at the bar, and then we make a joke about how she should make a cocktail out of it. And the lady's like, I'm going to put this drink cup out, and whatever you do, I'm just going to turn my back.
On you.
Dude, I literally, like, I have a video of it, but I took the jar
What'd
and
you do?
I just put a little dash of his ashes in a fucking shaker jar, and she makes a drink out of it. Serves us a drink at the bar.
Dude, fuck yeah.
So
okay, hell yeah.
It was like, I can't remember what the drink was, but it's like, it looked blood red. So it's cool. I don't know. But
dude,
it's like a cool little cocktail bar.
That's how I want to honor every fallen friend of mine.
Right. We made him to a fancy ass cocktail, which I know he would have fucking loved.
Oh, that's what,
Got some food and, you know, celebrated him, had a little drink on him.
Fuck yeah, man. Hey, you're the most of it.
Like a weird ass thing people probably wouldn't do, but I don't give a shit. It's just some ashes, and my friend, I know he would appreciate it, bro.
Fuck him.
If he was here, you know, being able to say
that's what matters, right? Is what they would have appreciated, not how anyone's gonna think about it.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. He would have appreciated it.
Exactly.
Absolutely, he would have. I know he would have.
I was in his honor.
Right. So yeah, that was cool. We went and spread his ashes at like a cliffside too, and just checked out a bunch of places he lived, food. Probably ate at like 7 different fucking pizza places.
Was he a big pizza guy?
Yeah, huge pizza fanatic. But yeah, man.
Well, man, thank you so much for sharing that with me. Like, it made me emotional. Like, I've experienced something similar, so I know what you went through. Yeah, and it's tough, fucking tough.
It is, dude. Absolutely. Death is a beautiful thing, though. I have to say, it's, you know, it's
yeah, like 5 years later.
Yeah.
5 years later, you're like, okay, I see the beauty in it.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But those first couple of years are tough.
It's never going to be easy, but all I can think about, man, is we only get so much time here.
Yeah.
We will reunite with these people one way or another, right? I don't believe, I'm not a religious guy. But you know, I definitely believe in like our energy being kind of dispersed back into everything, right? And our kind of have mixed emotions about, like, I kind of feel we're all the same person in a sense, right? Like, we're the same soul. If you believe in evolution, right? We're kind of all the same being.
Technically, we're all made of the same shit.
Right? Yeah. I mean, was there like multiple souls just waiting around for bodies, or are we all the same soul? Yeah. Right? And just originated from one single cell organism, like they say. So well, I think we're just embodied in different bodies, living out the same energy. We're the same being, just living out different memories. And
so you think it's visions. Like one movie and we're all just in the audience?
Just it's having our perspectives. We're all characters in our own movie.
Yeah.
Right? Because getting perspective... just think about it from one person's view, right? You can't do that, but if you could have a million different perspectives, right? That's how I view it. Is we're living, because when you think about evolution, we all evolved from a single cell organism, right? That means at some point, if we think about the soul and where the soul came from, there was only one soul in that single cell organism, which means we're all one soul at one point. We're sharing the same memory. And when you think about do you know anything about the Akashic records, stuff like that? Like
no, I don't.
I forget where it comes from, but it's like something to do with like meditation and tapping into like our ancient knowledge that's been existing, like certain like channeling. Do you know what channeling is?
Yeah, I do.
It kind of correlates with channeling, and like people being able to correlate and like tap into consciousness that we've existed for a long time ago. It's like Beethoven, Nikola Tesla, people like that.
Like your ancestors.
Yeah, they were meditating and getting in that like
tapping into that ancient knowledge.
Yep. There was a word I was thinking of. It's like half sleeping, right? Like
that state between awake and asleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where you're like able to kind of explore and astral project and stuff like that. Yeah. And then that's where like a lot of your ideas seem to come from.
Inspiration, ideas.
Yeah, I believe that is all tied to, because all of our energy and all of our atoms all come from the same place in space.
Literally.
Right. I believe that we are all, and even I believe what I've heard is our brain is on a certain frequency, and if you trace that frequency, it goes all the way back to the beginning of the universe. So I believe we're all just one consciousness, just experiencing it from different views. So
I 100% agree. And in my spiritual journey, I've come to call that as collecting perspective. I never like to argue or anything. When I interact with someone, I want to try to gain their perspective, because I feel like the more perspective you gain in life, the more intelligent, the more aware,
But I don't think anybody's perspective is wrong or right, really.
Absolutely.
It's all opinion, right?
Yeah. And beliefs are rooted in nonsense. Like lots of times people don't even know why they believe in what they believe in.
Dude, go on to Google and start searching like religions and just start backtracking where like that religion got its fucking shit from and where that got its shit from. It's all tied to the same shit, right?
As like a couple... Buddha is sitting behind you right now. I don't know if you noticed.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite piece of art I have right there. Yeah. That's a wooden sculpture of Buddha.
I respect all videos, I'm sorry, all religions, but to me, they all have the same message. They all came from the same place. And why are there the same concepts in every religion, basically, right? Why are they so similar? Why is a religion that was made over in this part of the world so similar to this time?
Preach, brother.
This is my theory. So that's the Akashic records, tapping into that knowledge, right, that we all have. Meditation. If you know anything about like tantric yoga, stuff like that,
I do. Yeah.
You can tap into your serotonin, dopamine, right? That comes your what is it? Your pineal gland, right?
For which chemical?
The DMT.
I don't know which gland that comes from.
There's your brain produces DMT.
Right, with the hyper extremism of meditation and like full control of your body, like monks and Buddhists.
We only produce a little when we sleep and when we're born and when we die as well.
Exactly.
Right?
But are you touching on the topic of, you think meditation, mind over matter, you are literally able to create anything internally, mentally.
Absolutely.
So
it's all there. It already exists. It all exists. All the serotonin, dopamine exists in your body already.
Just unlocking it.
Right. DMT exists in your body already. So I think knowing what DMT is, what it does, if you've ever had a DMT voyage, anybody that else has, if you've ever seen a podcast about it, we all kind of touch on the same place, right? It's all like talk to higher beings, right? So it's the most powerful hallucinogen out there, right? But we all have it in our body. Our brain produces it. To me, that means that anybody who's regulated to like a very clean state and meditated deeply is able to tap into that, right? Anybody who's actually completed like like strict yoga practices and meditation practices,
mindfulness,
can tap into the same chemical that creates that hallucination that we have from DMT. So imagine being someone that just meditated so deeply that you triggered DMT, and the type of beings that you would talk to and the conversation that you would have with a higher being, just like DMT people, right? People that have experience with DMT, it's the same shit to me.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Because we're just tapping into shit that's
well, and we have historical evidence of it. Like, look back to the monk in Tiananmen Square who set himself on fire, right? And sat there, just didn't fucking move. Didn't fucking move. Right? There, you've heard about the monks who live off the sun for months and months and months. The only source of nutrition or energy.
They have the towels on their body up in the fucking alpine.
The sun monks or whatever, yeah.
You ever seen those guys? They go up with a wet towel and they go up into the fucking freezing cold, like Appalachian mountains, and they dry the towel out on their body. Yeah, shit's wild.
It's this whole mentality of the mindfulness, which it could be DBT, you could call it like therapy, you could call it spirituality, you could call it religion, but it's this concept that changed my life.
Absolutely.
And it also made me look at everyone else who hasn't experienced it in a different way.
Absolutely.
When I see someone who is in a victim mindset, a victim mentality where like everything's happening to me, I'm like, you realize this is all in your head, right? And you could sit down, and I know it's affecting you, but you could change that.
Right. Or you could focus on something else is how I see it, right? And to me is manifesting. Manifestation is a real thing because to me it goes back to that analogy of the cup's half full or half empty. Are you going to view it as half full or half empty? Another analogy I use is fire, right? Like people look at, like fire is neutral. Fire is good when it's fucking heating your food. Fire is bad when it's burning down your fucking house. But other than that, fire just exists. Fire is just there. Right?
Fire can forge the steel that makes the sword that defends your family. And fire can also cook your friends and family to be eaten by cannibals.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a tool. Not good or bad.
It's not inherently
but it's
good or evil.
But it's not, it's not good or bad. It's just fire.
That.
But that's everything in life is like that. We've just put labels of good and bad on it. It's all out of necessity. You can't have light without dark, happy without sad. You wouldn't understand any of it. Right.
They wouldn't exist. They're mutually exclusive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all a balance. And as much as we want to focus on the negatives of the balance that's here, we can do that all day long. But I think it's your job to kind of focus on the positives, right?
Yeah.
Because like I said, you only get so much fucking time here.
Right.
There's lots of negatives, but there's also a lot of fucking positives. Because, I could wake up and say, I didn't have a fucking great day and, it's kind of, depressed and, whatever. But I can also look at all the positives. Like I ate and, I woke up in a home and I got good health still, and I got good friends, and
I know I've been snapping a lot, but you're preaching. Good, the topics you're touching on need to be talked about.
Absolutely,
100%.
Yeah, man.
These are the real issues that people are blinded to because of societal norms and constructs. The things that like, do I have gas, or can I get to work, or this, that, or how many likes did I get on my post? The things that people are so obsessed with are just distracting them from the things that really matter, which is this fucking shit right here, which is we are the masters of our own universe, our own experience,
Absolutely. Choose your happiness, man. And, It's hard to make changes in life too. I think that's one of the biggest things for people too is, making those big leaps of changes and, doing something different. It's scary, taking leaps, taking risks. And especially in today's society, it's like, to going out and trying to find a new job. It's like, if it ain't the same money, man, you're going to be struggling, right? And you're going to be nervous about that. And,
well, this touches on a quote I love where, life begins where your comfort zone ends. Mm-hmm. It's when you get complacent and comfortable. Another quote is, the mind will accept a comfortable hell more than an unfamiliar heaven.
Yep. I like that quote a lot, actually. That's a really fucking good quote.
It's a good-ass quote, right? I think
most people should hold on to that because it's one of those things. Everything takes work, man. Everything that is worth living for and worth appreciating. Nothing that you're gonna appreciate in life doesn't take work. If it was easy gotten, you're just it was there, I got it, whatever. If you had to work your ass off for it, you appreciate it, and that's everything in life, right? And so I'm starting to realize that too as I get older. Is hopefully I'll appreciate the struggles that I went through, and my happiness will come out a lot harder. And I think it is.
I think it is, yeah.
I feel happier than I have. I hit a lot less lows than I have in my life, and I feel like I'm on a better path than I have in a long time. So,
just from an outside perspective, purely, like, we don't go back too far, with the last 6-12 months. Yeah. You are fucking killing it.
Appreciate
You're
it, man.
fucking killing it, dude.
Appreciate it.
So many people have been through so much less than you have, and they're doing so much worse. Yeah. So the fact that you've been through so much worse and are doing so much better is so inspiring and profoundly impactful. And
appreciate that.
Seriously, man. I know my words aren't going to make it easier.
I know, but I did those lows too, and I understand, and I appreciate it, because I mean, we got to hit those lows too, and it took me to get to this point. I mean, what doesn't make you break you or what doesn't break you makes you, right? I guess that's how they say it. But like I said, everything in life I feel like is like about fortification, man. Just all these things just make you stronger, because it's all inevitable. Everything you go through life is inevitable, right?
Well, it had to happen exactly how it happened,
or it just has to happen. It's part of life,
has to happen,
right?
Yeah.
And it's you can't run from all those things. And I'd rather be fortified and strong against heartache and pain and all the bullshit in life that it can throw at me than running from it and scared and worried about what's coming around the next door. Fuck it, it's coming. Whatever. I'll face it and I'll deal with it just like I dealt with everything else in fucking life. Yeah. That's kind of how I've gotten in the last few years. Like I'm just doing me and doing the best I can. And, I'm in a happy relationship. I'm trying to make it work the best I can. And I'm hoping it's the long run is what I'm looking for, and just trying my best to love myself right now, and make the best out of my life, and I definitely care about my girl's opinion, but not care,
well,
care about the world's fucking opinions and so much.
Do not
right?
publicly say that you do not care about your girl's opinion.
Absolutely, I do. No, that's not a question. It's you want to live your life like you don't care about anybody's opinion, right?
Yes, that's a fine balance, because that it teeters on narcissism, where it's kind of like a devil's trick, if you want to put the religion on it.
Don't hurt people, of course.
To be narcissistic is also what they teach you in therapy as self-care.
Absolutely.
So care about yourself is not caring about anyone else. You're a narcissist. I could
never be a narcissist. I'm too empathetic, right? Like
oh my God, I know.
Right.
I know.
But
we both cried tonight. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we proved it.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of fending for yourself and just stopping the emotion that you take from affect just not being good enough for everybody else, I guess. Be good enough for you, and just appreciate that it all takes a struggle no matter where you come from, and it's it's a beautiful journey for all of us, right? It's all like you were saying to me the other day, it's a story. We all have a story, right?
We all have a story.
It's a good story.
Right?
I think
only you can tell it,
right? And everybody has a beautiful story, in my opinion. So,
and so many people don't get the opportunity to tell it, which is why I'm so grateful that you came on to share with the world, what you've been through a little bit, and hopefully, and I believe totally, the shit you've been through, just talking about it with me right now could help someone who's going through or is about to go through or has been through something you've been through.
That'd be great. I mean, it's all about helping people, man. It's one of my big things. I love helping people and talking through problems. I got a good handful of friends that call me the guru.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just like everybody's therapist, right? Call me if you got a fucking problem. Oh yeah, I talk to everybody, man.
Yeah. So we're both therapists.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just I'm that friend that everybody calls when they got a problem. They need to fucking work it out, right?
Totally.
Need a good opinion. Or a non-biased filtered, non-filtered opinion, right? I just fucking tell it how it is.
But empathetically.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I care about people's feelings,
totally.
Absolutely. But I'm going to tell you what you need to hear,
right?
Because it's for growth. Way. If you build a love relationship with people enough, right, and they know that you respect them, you should be able to say things that are hard.
Yeah,
right.
It's tough love, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I view it. Is I spread so much love so that when I tell somebody, yo, you're fucking up, just like I expect the same. It comes from compassion and love, not fucking judgment. And,
it's almost parental, where it's
absolutely.
My dad's gonna feed me. He's gonna make sure I have shelter over my head. He's gonna get me to school. But then when I'm fucking up, my dad's gonna be like, "Hey, yo, bitch!"
Right. Fucking up.
I'm still gonna feed you after I yell at you. Right. But
fix your shit, right?
That scares some people. Some people don't know how to accept that.
No, absolutely. And some people aren't dealt with it, or they're met with the other end of it, where it's toxic, right? And they're just attacked, right? There's no growth, right? And so that's I don't know.
None of us know, man.
Right?
No one really knows.
Nobody fucking
knows. And the people who claim they know, those are the ones you have to be afraid of.
Seriously.
Yeah. The smartest person in the room, you never admit it.
I have quite a few successful people that were not fucking happy, bro. It's the more you think you want in life, just find your happiness wherever it comes. It doesn't have to be fucking riches.
Yeah. It shouldn't be riches.
Absolutely not.
Not at all.
Everybody's looking for the biggest house and, you know, the nicest
fucking
car. And
gross.
it's like, bro, it's not, that's not happiness.
No.
You know, we all want it. Sure, it'd be nice, but like at the end of the day, you know, prioritize what actually makes you happy in life.
And that boils back to like what you said, like happiness isn't about how much money you make. It's like happiness is a mindset. Are you grateful for what you have? Mm-hmm. Like I'm in the most debt I've ever been in my life, and I'm the happiest I've ever been. I have a shelter. I have food. I have friends. Dude, oh my god, I'm a king.
Right?
Yeah.
The same shit, bro. Like I feel like, you know, things are chaotic in my life, and I'm struggling super fucking bad, and you know, I'm fucking not working right now, and it's like, but you know what? I'm fucking happy. I'm happy to be where I am.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. And keep pushing forward, man.
Keep pushing. So if you had one piece of advice to give to the world, your younger self, 16-year-old you, your son, if you had one, the people of the world, what would be one piece of advice you'd want to leave behind to this torn, broken world to try and give them hope, to inspire them to push through the darkness?
I guess just be who you are authentically, and, you know, don't be afraid to be hurt, and, you know, to live life, you know, the best that you can, the fullest that you can, and, you know, always pretend like you're going to die tomorrow, I guess, because I don't ever want to look back with regrets in life, you know, and I know I've met a lot of people that it's like you see all these regrets and you see all these, you know, this hurt that they hold on to. It's like, you know, when you come to accept the things that you've been through and the hurt that you've been through, you don't wear it as much. You know, you just kind of get through life. And you're like, it is what it is. I'm moving past it. And I hate to see people go through that in life. So, you know, I think just being your most authentic person and loving like you ain't been fucking hurt before, right?
Yeah.
And trying to spread love in the world, I think. Yeah.
That's good.
Don't be afraid to be you, no matter how, you know, everybody comes from a certain story, and you shouldn't be ashamed of where your story is. Actually, a weird analogy I use for people is like, what if you came from like a family of cannibals? Right?
Okay. I like where you're going.
Right?
Okay, go on.
To America, and you're like, oh wait, people don't eat people here, and this is like unculturally like not cool, and you're like, I feel so out of place, right? Like, my people have been doing this for like hundreds of thousands of years, right? Like it's an extreme analogy, but it's just like,
I like extreme analogies. Right? It's my favorite.
It puts it to the point with people of like, you know, a lot of people are just born with what they're given, the skills that they're given, you know, the fucking family that they're given, right? And it's like, you can't be ashamed of where you came from and the tools that you were given in life. Mm-hmm. Own it, fucking admit to it, don't be ashamed of it. And anybody that's judging you isn't the person for you, right? Mm-hmm. Anybody that doesn't appreciate your story isn't a person for you. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a struggle, and it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. So appreciate your struggle.
Totally. Right. It's that, like, from what you've been saying all night, the topics or the key points, I think my takeaways for you are fear and shame. Just reject those thoughts, those ideologies in your brain. If you're afraid of something, you know, address it. If you're ashamed of something, address it. Fear and shame are the root of all evil, I think.
I hate fear. I've actually, that's a good point, because the thing that I talk about this to like friends and shit. I face my fears. Anything that I don't like makes me uncomfortable. I face it. Mm-hmm. I don't like to be uncomfortable anymore, and I rather just be okay with it, right? Like rather just that. Another analogy I use is hunting. Like the first time you go out and kill an animal, it might be fucking pretty traumatic. Hearing an animal scream, having to quarter it. It's not fun, but you know, when you do it out of necessity, you do it 100 times, it just becomes kind of something you do. It's life. Yeah. Right? That's everything, just repetition and getting comfortable.
So you say you don't like fear and shame. So how you combat it is by addressing it head on. You don't postpone it. You take care of it right now.
Try to. I've done it in the past. I've definitely postponed. I was scared for a long time. I would say in like probably my 30s, mid 30s, or early 30s. It's kind of when I started facing those like demons head on, and just, you know, saying, you know, I don't need to be ashamed of who I am, the story, you know, that I have, and where I came from, and you know, the problems that I have, and even now I'm still kind of healing from it, right? It's like, you know, I feel, you know, like I was saying earlier, it's like sometimes I feel broken, right? It's just like struggling to fit into society and find a career, and really dialing it down, and I don't know, it definitely affects you, because you know, we're in a society where, I hate to say it, but men are kind of, we're valued on what we provide a lot of times, right? And you know, when a person struggles with mental health and, you know, figuring out what they're going to do with themselves, it really kind of knocks down how you feel about, you know, yourself as a man. It's like, yeah, it's, can't remember who said it. There's like comedians was talking about it a while back, but it was like, you know, I don't mean to be sexist anyway. I'm not trying to be like that.
No,
but,
I know
women,
you're not.
I feel
I know you're not.
Women and children get loved unconditionally.
Totally.
A lot of times, right?
Yeah.
Where men, we have to work for it.
Yeah.
And we, you know, we have to prove something. We have to be able to provide something. And if we don't, we're looked down upon. And, you know, that's a harsh reality for men these days.
It's tough,
it
man.
absolutely is.
That's why the suicide rates for men over women, 70-30.
It says a lot.
It says a lot.
I think it says a lot.
I just shared a meme last night, actually, that says, "Oh, you're so strong. Yeah, you're not going through anything." I'm paraphrasing, but it's like, no, I just don't tell you because no one gives a shit, which is so true. And there's statistics that say if a woman sees a man cry, she's 60-70% more likely to leave him. Like, and yet they preach, oh, be vulnerable. So for me, the best way to address that is head on. I call it out as I'm doing it. So I'm known, I don't know if you follow my public Snapchat, but I'm known for crying and being like just overly emotional and just laughing in the face of society.
I've seen it before. I've done the same thing.
Owning it. Yeah. Just take it. It doesn't matter. They won't give it to you. Just fucking rip it out of their hands.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I got to that point, like I was saying, later in my life, like these last probably, you know, I'd say into my like early 30s and into now, just like really just accepting that, like, I posted a while back, it's probably a couple of years ago now, just like, this is me, how you see me every day, right? A long post about, you know, this is how I look and how you see me every day. This is how you don't see me. And it was like literally a picture of me side by side. And like, I took a picture of myself just bawling, right? And just fucking hard day.
Dude.
Fucking super fucking broken down, right? Just like completely bawling out of my fucking, and just like, you could see the distress. And like, it was just me on a normal happy day. I took one of those pictures, right? Just an everyday picture. And I took a picture of myself, like, of that day, just like fucking bawling. I was like, fuck it, you know what? I'm gonna take this picture. Put it out there. And
that bravery.
Yeah.
I've literally done this within the last 6 months.
It feels good.
We're on this. It feels good.
It
gives you power.
It
gives you power back, and it gives power to other people.
I'm very into empowering men right now. I do this thing, and I can tell you, I've turned on numerous of my male friends into painting their nails. I've painted my nails for the last few years, and so pretty masculine male, right? I do construction, pretty manly man.
I'm afraid of you kicking my ass.
I got
so
yes,
beard. I would say you're very
I'll paint my nails and shit. Yeah. And guys are like, why
just
do you
to
do
throw
that?
them off.
Right. They're like, are you gay? Like, why do you do that? No, I just like paint my nails. And actually, part of it came from the fact that I just protect my nails being a carpenter. I'd scuff and scrape my nails all the time. Went and got fucking some like the powder dips, right?
Yeah.
Protect the shit out of my nails.
So is that a
cool.
dual purpose?
Oh yeah. And then I like color. I like I started wearing color. I used to wear all black and like brown and shit
neutral,
like that. Neutral
earth
colors.
tones.
Probably mid 30s. I started wearing like just tons of color, like super vibrant colors. And
but then you like kind of flipped
purple.
Took it back.
No, I'm still in bright colors. I just have kind of more neutral.
Well, I mean, you took back your masculinity by embracing the femininity, almost making a mockery of it.
Absolutely. Well, and just like, to me, it was like, I can be masculine and also do something feminine, like paint my nails.
100%.
And nobody really questioned it. It was like, even when other masculine men would be like, yo, bro, why are your nails painted? Because
why do you give a fuck? Yeah.
Right, why do you care?
Yeah.
Basically calling people out. Like, why do you care? What does it matter?
Exactly.
I like it. It protects my nails and I like colors. Do you have a problem with it? And so that's kind of where it stemmed from, is like being able to do shit like that. And then, you know, I've dyed my hair pink.
Totally.
And, I wear bright, like pink is one of my favorite colors. I wear lavender a lot is one of my favorite colors.
Yeah.
So like pink and purples.
I love it. Dude, pinks and purples. Something about it.
Being like a very heterosexual male, right? Very kind of masculine look. But also doing like kind of more what people would see as like feminine, right?
It's like a mockery. It's a joke. It's like Loki, the kid, the god of mischief,
right?
Yeah,
I like kind of stirring the pot a little bit.
I did the
like
same
that.
thing.
Yeah. And so it's for me, it feels good because I push other people's boundaries, and then like I said, I have numerous male friends now that will go and paint their nails because they're like, well, fuck, Gerry does it, and other people don't seem to care.
But you're literally causing change. Yeah. It's empowering. I didn't know this about you. Yeah, because I do the same exact fucking thing.
Yeah, I got.
Okay, after the podcast, we're gonna go into a deep bit about this.
I got a whole like album of just like all the nails I did over like probably a year or two. Just,
I love that.
Like I did every season. So I do like Christmas, I do Valentine's, I do like
hell yeah. My kid just started getting it. He's 6 or 5 and just started getting into his paintings, nails. I'm like,
sick.
fuck yeah, let's go.
I'll have to get the kiddos together. So
yeah, totally. Yeah, we were talking about that. But no, I like, dude, seriously, I do the same thing. And like, I'm pretty hetero for the most part.
Right.
I'm a little flexible. I've kissed guys.
Flexible.
I've kissed guys drunk just because I think it's funny.
Right.
I'm not afraid.
Right.
But what I've found, my mockery of the whole thing is like, if a dude who's really toxic, really alpha gets in my face, I'll be like, can I suck your dick?
Right.
And he'll be like, it shuts him down. Like, it's like a fucking C3PO. Like
those are the guys that are actually really deep down gay. They're just waiting for somebody to suck their dick in an alley. They can't. That nobody's gonna tell.
I love that you make a mockery of that the same way I do.
Actually, so me and Sarah were having a conversation earlier about like being at the bar. She's a singer. She's at the bar a lot, singing at the bars, with her band.
Yeah. And
there'll be like guys staring at her. And I was like, just point them out. I'll go out and make them uncomfortable as fuck. I was like, you want to go up and like,
hey, sexy.
Like grab a dude by his junk real quick and make him uncomfortable as shit. Like, what up?
Can I buy you a drink?
My girl? Right? Like,
can I watch?
Right? Just fucking make him super uncomfortable. I was like, I have no shame. I'm not scared.
Fuck yeah,
like,
man.
I'm comfortable in my sexuality and like, yeah, I don't judge, man. I'm super hetero. I'm not buying anywhere.
I'm pretty,
I'm very comfortable with my sexuality. So like, I'll tell a guy he's good looking. Like, I'm not scared to be hit on by a gay guy.
Totally.
Like, it doesn't bug me.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah. It's actually kind of confidence booster when a gay guy hits on you. It's
for
like,
sure.
Oh, wow. I guess I am kind of
well,
attractive.
especially in the time like we grew especially in like the era we grew up in, because we're like a couple years apart, like society really tried to use it against us bad.
When I grew up, you couldn't have your ear pierced on the wrong side. I think it was on the left side, which I do have.
Was that Elton John?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if you had your ear pierced on the left side, you were gay.
That was Elton John.
And
Yeah.
I got my ear pierced when I was a baby, right?
Yeah.
So like my mom just did it. She didn't know.
Right.
Like,
oh God. They were also like, oh, you dress well? Fucking gay.
Right.
Like, I was like, wow, why? Because I like to look good.
The term before that was what? Heterosexual?
No, it was
metrosexual.
Sorry. I got accused that many times. I worked in a lot of clothing shops. So
sure, whatever.
Hey, man, Gerry, we're coming to the end of our time, but thank you so much, dude, for being so open and candid.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just got to wrap it up with one question. You might know what's coming. You might not. Would you kick a puppy as hard as you could, knowing full well you'll probably kill that fucking puppy? Innocent little puppy, cute, the cutest, your favorite. Pitbull, doesn't matter, Dachshund, whatever, to save 100 people's lives. 100 strangers' lives.
Oh, fuck. No, fuck those people.
Yeah, fuck those people. You didn't kill them.
I love the puppies.
Oh my God, thank God. Finally.
I'm never going to be able to pet those people. I don't want to pet them, right? Like, I'd rather.
What are you looking at the puppy?
Right? Let me take the puppy home.
Okay. Oh, thank God. Finally have a guest who's going to kick the fucking puppy. I'm sitting over here feeling alone. No. Yeah, fuck those people. Right? I never met them. Right? Okay. I don't hate them.
I'm not kicking that puppy.
Yeah,
you
fucking
guys are fucked up for that. Fuck those people. People die every day.
Yeah. All right. Well, actually,
saving. There's whole
because you're so confident on that answer, I need a follow up just because it was so quick. What's your biggest red flag?
Oh, I guess just controlling shit. Somebody that's like super like, just like has no personality of their own, I guess, and like just needs everything about you, right? Like they just have no life of their own. Like that's like, I don't know, it's super over attachment, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever you call it. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for being vulnerable. Right. All right. Can I take a picture of you to get you on the wall?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Pose pretty.
Nope.
Oh my God, my batteries are dead. Okay, I'm going to switch them out and then we'll get it.
Kidding.
Thank you so much, Gerry.
No problem.
It was great talking with you, man.